Hi, new channel. More on that later, though. So, I did an update video recently in regards to not really reading comments as much as I, used to, as much as I probably should. I've skimmed a couple, and honestly, people have been pretty reasonable, pretty respectful, and that's honestly really what it comes down to. I wanted to kind of bring up a point because I actually wrote a well thought out response, like 4 paragraph response. And this kind of showcases not just what I am dealing with, but a lot of other creators as well. And I do want to put this with the stipulation that nothing should really go against this commenter. At the end of the day, no one should be, trying to be vigilante status. Well, what's done is done, and this was a huge contributor and huge contributing factor into not only why I don't read comments anymore, but why your favorite creator might not want to read things anymore. So the TLDR, obviously, it's up on screen. You can kind of read it. During a Fat Electrician reaction, someone did point out that right to work versus at-will employment is, for all intents and purposes, different. Like, they're different things. They do different things. Personally, I've never worked union, and every time in every job that I've ever been to, and every job my buddy has had, right, because he had to pull that in the last year with one of his employers who was saying, well, you can't quit, saying that this state is a right to work state, in my own personal experience, has always worked. Now, if we do look at the objective definition of what a right to work state is, that does include unions. It's not necessarily that your employment may be terminated at any time, whether by your employer or by yourself. So, from an objective factual standpoint, that is correct. That is going to be a at-will employment state. Now, where I took issue with this, and where I definitely got frustrated with this, was effectively being called a liar and being told that my personal experience and what I've objectively experienced was just incorrect. So I guess I guess I just took stupid pills and, I ended up, hallucinating the whole thing, I guess. So, and what kind of confused me after, and I said this to a couple friends and stuff who kind of just, why is this even being an argument? Like, you guys are kind of just arguing past each other, right? So, following this individual decided to reach out on Discord, which I do have my Discord set to Do Not Disturb. I don't know if you've seen the Discord recently. I don't know if you've seen how many React recommendations I have. I physically can't keep up, right? Like, if we go to the Discord, I have so many things that people are reacting. And honestly, like, that's the proper use. People to this day still ask, hey, you want to react, send you videos to react to, what's the process? There's a process, as it's always been. There is a channel to recommend things, and that's it. I determine if it's going to be something I want to react to, if something that's going to do well, or if it's something that just doesn't interest me, right? Anyway, in any event, this individual reached out, and it was a very strange interaction because they claimed that, they wanted to apologize for their hostility and that I didn't deserve that, and I guess wanting to have a conversation, promising not to be hostile, and then with the acknowledgement statement of, hey, if you don't want this conversation, that's fine. So me, okay, you know what? Let me do the adult thing. Let me do the big creator thing. Of all right, let's try to do a thing. I wrote out 4 paragraph response to immediately get Clyde. Hey, you don't share a server with this person, and or you the whole thing where clearly it's someone who messages, but then there's clearly no intent to follow through, right? Because you can't respond to the thing. And that kind of got under my skin because realistically, I could have avoided this entire thing, right? Objectively, I don't understand what there would need to be a conversation about, right? It's the principle of on the internet that I see time and time again where someone will just, random creator, oh, I used to like their content. Like, take Mutahar. Number of people. I liked when Mutahar was, they'll say I like when Mutahar was just a creepypasta channel. I miss old Mutahar. Not picking on Mutahar specifically, but showcasing it as an example. But as an adult, you just kind of move on, right? So the interaction, even when creators, and this transcends me, right? And the reason why you might not hear back from a creator or a streamer, right, is one, they're busy, right? I'm set to Do Not Disturb. But two, you'll run into interactions where even if somebody is arguing in good faith, the literal, right, Idaho, like, right to work state versus at will employment, they'll reach out, but then I guess, really have no intent on that follow through. And so magnify this to someone like, I don't know, magnify this to someone like Nuxtaku, magnify this to someone like Moist Critical, magnify this to any creator you can think of, and how this is not going to be an uncommon occurrence. So I kind of wanted to end this bit with the understanding that I don't understand what the follow through would even be. If I'm objectively wrong, I'm objectively wrong, right? Like, you can just leave a comment. Hey, even if you're angry, aggressive, mean, whatever, right? I mean, sure. While I can just ignore it, like, I'm ignoring objective fact, just isn't right. That's not, like, that's the whole thing we make fun of, crusade against, right? And I do further posit that this just showcases that I'm not able to speak on most of the topics I talk about, right? You'll see over on Tacticip, we've started doing videos again and stuff. We watched and this is out as of recording. This is out this coming Friday. Brendan Hur's new AK-50 video. He talks about heat treating parts of his bolt carrier group. He's talking about the composition, having to know how to heat treat. He's talking about pitting on the metal. He's talking about wear and tear on the spring. You got to know the composition of the spring to know how it's going to function after 1,000 rounds of 50 BMG, right? That's all basic maintenance stuff. I don't know it. I haven't taken apart my Beretta yet. Clearly, I lack the skill and merit. And this comes back down to a big crux of why I do certain things in modern videos. Because at the end of the day, I don't have the skill and merit, objectively so, considering the citations within this, right? That's fine. Skish you. Get good, as we all have said, right? And I continue to feel like I'm living with imposter syndrome because I clearly don't know things, but an exception is being made for me. But we all watched the Unsubscribed Podcast DEI episode, and people literally commented, if you don't have skill and merit, like, you shouldn't be rewarded. But I'm being rewarded for not having the skill and merit, right? And everyone gets things wrong. I totally understand that. And this is a rather weird situation, and like, actual objective fact is coming into direct conflict with actual firsthand experience. So this is a little bit of a one of people talking past each other, but I wanted to kind of make this one to illustrate. No, I'm not a specialist. I'm not an expert. I don't have mastery in pretty much anything I speak about, right? People want why I don't react to certain things, right? It took me the longest time to react to Kentucky Ballistic Samurai video, the samurai weaponry, because sure, while I do SCA and stuff, what skill and merit do I have? What mastery of the art form do I have? I would argue anyone in the military who's literally trained for combat literally has more skill and merit. And I'm obsessed with this because for months it has been hounded. DEI this, DEI that, DEI this. You know, if you don't have the skill and merit. But suddenly when you talk about it and you go, wait a minute, you don't know the barrel composition and twist rate of your SIG P226. Is that not willingly foregoing skill and merit? People are silent. It's crickets. And it's really kind of messing with me right now. But I also wanted to do this to kind of showcase, right? And once again, nobody go harass this person. Nobody do that, right? We're all adults here. I'm bringing what happened, what the follow through was, why I'm a little upset, because why reach out if the thing is not going to go anywhere, right? Just don't message in the first place. And to showcase why some creators will start to engage less. Because at the end of the day, if a streamer or someone feels that they're being harassed, if a streamer or someone feels that, it's not a good conversation, they do retain the right to ignore it, as I retain the right to ignore whatever the hell I want to. Now, I would argue it does benefit us to listen to feedback and criticism, hence acknowledging said feedback and criticism, right? Objective facts being presented. But I think that there is a point where the internet has really aided and abetted in aggression in anonymity. And even with that, it still isn't... It still comes into conflict with, things like age verification and stuff like that. I think that stuff is dumb. That's a whole nother conversation. So, make your own educated conclusion. As I said, don't go after this person. That's not fair. That's not reasonable. That's not what adults do. I feel that I wanted to provide further clarification on this. I wanted to provide further clarification because a lot of people are getting really upset with my quote-unquote DEI rhetoric. Personally, I hate it. I think it's a nebulous concept that uses a catch-all for anything you don't like, right? Oh, well, I Kip Vtuber, he's pretty successful. It's because he's got the Skittle hair. He's that DEI, right? And I guarantee you there's people who say that, right? But, doesn't affect me. I think that it's been a very frustrating conflict of interest at this point to have people cry skill and merit as a perfectionist go, cool, awesome, so we're all on the same page that you should know what you're doing. Well, you don't necessarily need to know the barrel composition of your AK-50. That's not necessarily a thing. Why would you ever need to heat treat your firing pin or bolt carrier group? Okay, sure, but you're still willingly foregoing skill and merit. Sure, you can argue reasonability, but few stressors that have played into each other. As I said, come to your own educated conclusion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. This isn't a pity party. I felt people deserved a little bit more of an explanation using not the inciting incident. And at the end of the day, if I miss your comment, if I miss your DM, look, I'm busy. I'm doing what I can. I'm really trying to work on this work-life balance thing, which has been better as of late. But I can physically only do so much as a single person. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time and consideration. Definitely come to your own educated conclusion. There is a new channel out there in the wild. These little quote unquote yellow text video bits, these kind of long form, whatever, or short form, I guess, videos are getting their own channel at this point. I'm really not advertising it because I'm running an experiment. But if you come across a channel where this is the content, know that is by me, and that's not a imposter, a sus among us, if you will. That is out there. The channel is currently live. But as I said, I want to run an experiment to see YouTube algorithm things. So yeah, that is it. The new channel has been made. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day.